Hello and welcome to Super OK, where we try to do a decent enough job to entertain people with our opinions on video games. My name is Dale, and I am joined here by two absolutely beautiful, beautiful souls. First off, Zando, how's your soul?
My soul is black as night.
Do you have
fine,
something
I guess.
to confess, my son? Or
No, it's good. It's good. I just wanted to be dramatic and cool, you know?
Oh, all right. Just getting out the eyeliner. Mel, what about you? How's your soul?
My soul is feeling a bit cold today. I don't know if it's because I'm in the same room as Zando, and his black soul is just sucking the life out of my soul, but I'm freezing over here.
That's the thing about me and my black soul. It's everywhere at once.
You know what they say about cold souls? You got to put on socks, cover up them souls.
It's true.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Terrible. It's such a bad joke. I'm so sorry to everyone who's listening. This is a video game podcast, but we start every one of them with a highlight of the week, where we talk about something that made our week a little bit better, a little bit brighter, a little bit nicer to live in. And if it's all right with you guys, I'd actually like to go first.
Okay.
Because this past weekend, my wife Ange and I celebrated our 6th year of being married together. And first off, she's amazing. She's the best thing that ever happened to me. She's the best person I've ever met. I love her with my whole heart. And part of the reason that I love her with my whole heart is that she organized a lovely little weekend getaway for us, where we went to some no-name town in the middle of Michigan and rented an Airbnb. And it ruled. It was in somebody's basement, but it had like a private entrance. And as you open the door, you see a hot tub, an indoor hot tub. And then as you go down the stairs, there is a indoor pool in their basement, like a lap pool, so like one of those long and thin boys. Mm-hmm. Real awesome. Also an indoor sauna, a fitness room that we did not go in even once. We turned the light on, to look at it and say, not for us, not this weekend. And then a modest bedroom, and all of that. But it
outdoor
was just
bedroom.
Yeah, outdoor bedroom, indoor pool, outdoor bedroom. But no, it's just awesome because life has been really hectic for us both recently. Work has been a lot and life has been a lot. And it was just so lovely to have a whole weekend where we could just chill out with one another. We could relax. We could, just be together in a place where we didn't really have to worry about anything. It was so absolutely amazing and such a great recharge. And I am so grateful to her for that and for setting all of that up and all of that fun stuff. So
that's awesome.
That's so nice.
It was absolutely awesome.
Yeah, you too. Congratulations.
How many cakes did you kick?
We kicked. Are you looking for the legal number of cakes? Because in that case, the answer is half, because we bought a half cake and then we each cut out a slice and kicked it. So I guess a quarter of a cake total was kicked. But for those of you who aren't aware, my wife and I have a tradition, because when she was planning the wedding, when we were planning the wedding, she had a stress dream about all of the chaos of planning the wedding and all of the different things, because it's a lot. And she had this stress dream where in her dream she saw somebody with a 3-tiered wedding cake, and she kicked it out of their hands, and it made her feel so much better. And so every year on our anniversary, we buy cake, and then we each cut out a slice of that cake and kick that cake, just to celebrate, hey, we did another year. We don't have to worry about wedding stress, like that sort of stuff, you know. And then also we have cake to eat, which is also nice. This year's cake was delicious, but had a little too much icing.
And that's why you kicked it. That's another reason to kick it. Too much icing, you motherfucking cake.
Out of that cake. Yeah.
That's such a cool tradition. I love it.
Yeah. She's great.
Well, speaking of cake, if I may interject, my highlight of the week was I took my daughter Helen to her friend from preschool's 6th birthday party. And that was cool, just not only because she got to see her friends from preschool, she's not really got to interact with very much, but they also had like a bounce house for her to run around with. There was a food truck where all the food was paid for, so we just got to go up and order as many hot dogs as we wanted. They had funnel cake fries, and that ruled. But they also had... they hired a juggler to come be like the entertainment. And I'm like, oh yeah, whatever, a juggler. And this dude like he's like starts setting up these like speakers and stuff, and he's dressed all in black, and he's got like a very thin like beard and just long hair tied back in like a do-rag. I'm like, this guy looks nuts. And then he started going, and he has like this deep like deep commanding voice, and he's talking about all these. He's just very funny the way he like presented everything. And then he just started playing like heavy metal and juggling, and it was awesome. Like he was playing like System of a Down and like the Rob Zombie, or sorry, excuse me, White Zombie. I don't want to get those two mixed up. And it was just cool. Like I was like, man, nobody else is digging this music as hard as me. And also this dude's like really entertaining. And he was like, also all of his jokes, he told me after the show, he's like, I never, have done a kids party before, and so it's so fun for me to see these kids take everything I say so seriously.
That's awesome.
Like at one point he was like juggling torches, and he's like, it's very important that you never ever touch the hot end, and he like just grabs the burning end for a second, and the kids like freak out because they think he's getting hurt, and they don't realize that he's doing all of this perfectly. And he like juggles a chainsaw and is like, I'm gonna play a quick game of catch the right end. Like it was just such an entertaining thing.
Wait. He is juggling a chainsaw at a kid's birthday party, and that's
he was like a good 10-15 feet away, and he's a trained professional, you know?
Of course, but like also living life dangerously in front of kids.
Yeah, well.
But this is amazing.
Yeah, it was so cool. Like I took a picture of, I took a couple videos of his set. I took a picture of his little like his speaker set where it had like his website. Like I totally would look into hiring this guy because he was just so funny. One of my favorite things, and maybe this is like just an old thing that I've just never heard before. He gets to the end of his act and he's like, "We, ladies and gentlemen, we're now coming to the finale. Or if you didn't care for my show, you can call it the finally. It's over." And I was like, man, that just got me so good. I love those like just small twist on like puns. So it was great. He like his final act, he took 10 folding chairs and like stacked them in a certain way, and then lifted them up and just bounced them on his chin for like 30 seconds. And Helen turns to me and goes, "I want to do that." I was like, dude, you totally can be a juggler. And so like I'm talking to the other parents after the show, and Helen comes up with this like big, just like thick plastic chair, and she's got it resting on her head. She's like, "Look, Dada." Just like him. I was like, that's awesome.
Oh my God, she's so cute. Just practicing to be a clown. I love it.
Yep.
That is amazing. My favorite part about this is it sounds like they booked him without ever seeing his act.
They said they'd seen him once before, like at a different. At least I think that's what they said. I think they said there was like a magician or a juggler or something like that. I could have swore they said they saw him once before, but it was just neat. Like, none of it was like bad. Like none of the music was just like swearing or anything. He had all that stuff cut out, and it was just a real entertaining show. And I'm just like banging my head. He's like, at one point he played Chicken Stew by System of a Down, which is just a heavy song about pizza and advertising. And he's like, "I'm going to be honest, sometimes I just do that part of the act so I can headbang." It's like, that's awesome. I loved it. I was doing it too. Like
amazing. Absolutely amazing. All right, but back to the food truck thing. How many hot dogs did you eat? What was your count?
I only had 2. I kind of paced myself because I'm around all these other parents. I don't want to be like the guy who's like headbanging to the juggling show and also eating every hot dog he can get his hands on.
Like, how many funnel sticks did you end up eating?
Helen and I shared an order of the funnel cake fries, and they were awesome. I wish I would have gotten more.
A very responsible number, and I hate you for it.
I'm sorry.
I would not be able to control myself. I'd just be like, "Oh my God."
I got the what do they call it? The Dirty Dog, aka the Coney Killer, and then I don't remember what the name of the other one was, but it was I think it was Motown Dog Slingers was the name of the truck, and they were awesome.
It's a good name.
Yeah, so if you want some hot dogs and you live in the Detroit area, call out Motown Dog Slingers, and then also entertain yourself while you're eating these hot dogs with ClarkLewisJuggling.com. There you go. Just throwing out all the plugs because that was such a good day.
That sounds like a great birthday party.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
I want my own birthday party with that. That's so good.
If I ever have a themed birthday party.
Yeah.
And I'm going to invite that family over. We're like, hey, remember Fred's birthday party when he turned 6? I'm fucking turning 40. Let's go. Same show.
Same show.
If you Google just Clark Lewis, he's the first thing that shows up. And he looks majestic. He looks amazing.
Are we all doing it now?
I didn't actually look up his website yet, so I'm really excited about that. Yeah, man.
Next time,
that's the dude.
Oh, it's him with all the chairs.
Yeah, dude. The dude was entertaining as hell, man. And he had like red eye makeup on, and like Helen was like, he looks kind of scary. It's like, that dude is probably the nicest guy you're ever gonna meet, man.
Yep.
So yeah, ClarkLewisJuggling.com. You can he's got videos, man. You can check them out.
There's a whole bunch of testimonials. I trust this.
November 4th, 2023, 7 p.m. in East Jordan, Michigan at East Jordan High School Auditorium. He's playing. You can get tickets on the website.
Oh, man. Okay, so I'm not saying we're going to do this, but I am saying that for our next Super Okay, like in-person meetup, we should invite Clark Lewis.
Oh, for sure.
Not book him. I just want to hang out with him.
He seems like a really cool guy.
Oh, man. Look at him. He does contact juggling? This guy's wild. Yep. It's all over the place.
Yep.
Well,
I completely derailed the highlights.
No, man, this podcast, I said at the beginning, this is about video games. Wrong. It is now a Clark Lewis fan podcast. Dude, in his about section, the first sentence says, Clark Lewis is a juggler and stunt performer who particularly enjoys defying such things as gravity, disaster, death, and aardvarks that wander too close to him.
So good.
Love him. Absolutely love him.
Yeah, man, he swallowed swords. He did all kinds of stuff.
He swallowed swords too? You missed that part.
His stage name is the Rogue Showman.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
I like how edgy his look is. We should talk about my highlight of the week. Should we move on?
Does it have any jugglers?
It does not.
Does it have jugglers?
It also, I mean, there are people juggling a ball. I guess that could be a thing, because I went to the Lions game on Sunday and I kind of like made a whole event out of it because I got to go with my in-laws and my husband. So we got to go get breakfast at this place called the Pancake Factory, and they had like delicious pancakes, and they also had something called like a Dutch baby, which apparently is like an oven baked pancake, and then they serve it with like a whole bunch of like heavy cream and bananas and strawberries, and it tasted almost like a crepe, but like a fluffy crepe, and it was pancake-like, and it was so good. And then we got to go to the Lions game, and the Lions game was so good because we just annihilated the crap out of the Panthers, and it was just so much fun to be able to be like in a crowd where like our team is doing like really, really good. So that was extremely exciting. And then afterwards, we got to go to my favorite restaurant, well, one of my favorite restaurants in Detroit, which is Green Dot Stables, and they have the best sliders ever. But I got like a cheeseburger slider. They have something called a Cuban slider. And then I always get the hot Lansing because it's pretty much just like a fried chicken, like hot spicy sandwich. And it's so good. I highly recommend to get the mac and cheese there because it is like so decadent. And the noodles are always like cooked to perfection. And just everything there is relatively cheap. So you'll never spend like a buttload of money to go. 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10 Sunday. Would do again.
So I have questions about this restaurant.
Sure.
Is it on Jefferson?
Which one?
Near Belle Isle, the pancake place.
No, we went to it's in Shelby, Sterling Heights. Okay. It's like 25 mile DeQuinder.
Okay.
Van Dyke. I lied. It's in Van Dyke.
There's a place called the Pancake House or Detroit House of Pancakes or something like that on Jefferson. It is a really good restaurant. And I was going to be very excited if you also went there. But now I guess I have to go up to 25 in DeQuinder to get this Dutch baby.
Sorry. But it's amazing. I should have taken a photo because it was just like fantastic. So good.
That's awesome. Did the Lions win?
We did. Yeah. Nice. It was a very good game. We steamrolled and it was wonderful.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, it's really interesting living in the Detroit area in a time when the Lions are good.
Yeah.
Because no one has cared about the Lions, really. It's just like people, like every year other than this one, it's just been like sad people walking around in Lions gear. And it's just such a different vibe now that the Lions are actually good. It's really crazy. Really crazy.
As someone who has never cared for football, I always took pride in living in a place where our team just sucked. I remember going to Motor City Comic Con one year and seeing a guy walk around with a Lions jersey and the name was Owen and the number was 16 from that year where they didn't win any games. Like, that's amazing. And I almost wanted to buy it for myself, but I was like, nah, I'd rather not support that machine. But it's kind of a bummer to see that they're doing well. But I'm glad for everybody who enjoys it. That's great. I'm happy for it. But I kind of wish we still had that. The other way around, where like the Red Wings suck now, but the Lions are good. It just feels like the whole world's upside down.
It kind of really does. Actually, they say that like, this upcoming hockey season, the Red Wings should be pretty okay. Not like phenomenal, but like decent. So we'll see what happens.
They're not going to be the experts they once were.
Not at all. Unfortunately.
I hope that there's a goalie fight. As long as there's a goalie fight at some point this season, it's a success in my eyes.
Agree.
Yeah. Anytime two goalies meet at center ice and just duke it out, it's like, yes, this is the game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want real hockey. I don't want sportsmanship. I want like combat hockey.
I want the whole bench to just leave and just be on the ice and pound each other into the ground.
Yeah, into the ice. Donnybrook.
Yes, a little bit of a Donnybrook. Oh man. I don't really care about sports all that much, but I still hate the Avalanche to this day. Oh, you know what else we all hate? A know-it-all. Unless it's us, then we love that shit. We love knowing everything about something. And in this episode, we're just going to talk about some things that we consider ourselves experts on, and we're going to answer some questions from the other hosts about it. In all seriousness, one of my favorite things is to hear people speak passionately about things that they care about. And so we're just going to do that for the whole episode. So strap on your suspenders because we are going to go down some rabbit holes. Let's start with Zando. Zando, what is your first topic that you want to talk about?
I decided I'm going to let my first topic be something I've been kind of diving back into recently, which is Guitar Hero / Rock Band. And I consider myself an expert in this topic because I consistently play these games on expert. Does that count? Is that cool? This game literally changed my life. When Guitar Hero 3 came out, I got reconnected with a friend of mine whose sister I wound up marrying. And, it's a pretty big life change. Like you go from playing Guitar Hero in your basement to, oh, here's this girl that I like and then am now married to and have kids with. And like probably wouldn't be here if it weren't for Guitar Hero. Like there's a lot of things in my life that I have to attribute to that starting point of Guitar Hero of getting my life moving. So I am ready to answer any and all questions you may have about the Guitar Hero / Rock Band games. So hit me up.
Okay, so my first question is a real softball. What is your favorite song to play solo? And then what is your favorite song to play in front of other people? Because those are two very different experiences.
Mm-hmm. Man, solo. Lately, my when I boot up Clone Hero right now, usually the first song I go to is Do You Want to Play by Extreme. for the song that plays at the end of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
No, I don't. Can you please sing it?
What's that?
I said no. I don't know the song. Please sing it for us.
I can't do 80s hair metal singing. I'm sorry.
I know. I was kidding.
So yeah, that was a good one. Between the Buried in Me's prequel to the sequel is another one that I love to jump on and play. And Cliffs of Dover by Eric Johnson. Those are some really fun songs to play solo. They're all also extremely, fairly difficult. So they're also fun to play in front of a crowd. But if I'm going to, if I have everybody's attention for one song to play Guitar Hero, I'm going with the Guitar Hero 2 version of the Foo Fighters Monkey Wrench, because it's the only song, and I'm sure I could do this with others if I gave it time. But since 2007, when it came out for the Xbox 360, this is the only song that for the past 25 or almost 20 years that I can play without looking, still to this day.
Wow. Still to this day? Mm-hmm. We could test you on that.
We could throw on Clone Hero right now. I could turn off the actual the notes so that will not show for me, and you will hear the entire song. And then there's a section that I'm still a little iffy on, but I still consistently get at least 92 to 95% of the notes hit. That's
solid.
I mean, the crazy thing to me is you're not like, I can pass it without looking. You're like, I can't believe that I'm only at an A. Like 92 is an A, maybe A minus, depending on how hard you're grading. Like that's insane that you can get that without looking. That is wild.
Yeah.
And this is on expert too, right? Like This isn't like your easy mode. This is like straight up expert.
No, on expert. I can turn the notes off. I can turn away from the screen. Whatever you need to do, I can play that song by memorization.
Can you play any songs? Well, finish the best song to play with a group before we move on to the next question.
Oh, as a group?
Yeah.
Anything. I just love to play this game. So any song that someone wants to play, I'm going to play. I don't care what it is. Like that's as a group, I will play this game all day. Like that's one of my favorite things to do is I've got an ottoman in my basement that flips up. It has the Rock Band logo embroidered on it, and all my stuff is in there, so I can just pack that up and take it places. So I love playing these games with anybody, anytime.
It's amazing.
That's so cool. Can you play any songs like with the guitar behind your back? Is that something that you've done before?
I've not tried to do it. As far as showmanship goes, the best thing I have is it includes the Monkey Wrench track is working at Circuit City, as I did when these games were the most popular. These guys, I was playing on my lunch break because we had a setup out in the TV area where the whole wall was just like different TVs. And these kids saw me playing and they're like, "Hey man, you're pretty good, but we think our friend can beat you." I was like, "Cool, man, I'm off at 5:00. Come back and I'll play." And so sure enough, it's
I'll punish you.
It's like 10 minutes to 5, and these guys come back. I was like, "Cool, man, let me just finish up. I got to punch out, and I'll load everything up and we can go." And I asked the guys, like, "Do you want me to play? Do you want to go first, or do you want me to play?" Because we only had one guitar. He's like, "Oh, you play. I want to see what you can do." I was like, "Okay." And I don't know when the last time you guys stepped foot in a Circuit City is. I'm going to assume it's been at least 15 years. But they used to set up, there was like a corner of the store, and all on the corner were like just TVs, like top and bottom. And we had a little like theater section where there was one TV, and that's where we had the Xbox set up. And then, all around the walls around it were a bunch of different TVs. So I boot up the song, I pull up Monkey Wrench, and I turn away from the screen and I start playing and not missing a note. And he's like, "What's happening?" And he knows there's TVs behind him. So he turns to see if I'm playing on a screen behind him. And when he turns around, he doesn't see anything, and he goes to turn back, and I was just in his face playing the song, still not missing anything. And he just stood up. He's like, "Nope, I'm out. I lose."
Oh God, you flexed on him so hard.
Yeah, stared into his soul. Like, come at me, bro.
Yeah.
You can't.
I had another coworker shortly after he started. I was playing in the break room, and he goes, "Oh, man, what's this game? I'd like to try this." I was like, "Yeah, man, sure, but grab a guitar, let's play." And he is like, I played a little bit, and he's like, "I normally play on hard." And I was like, "Cool, man. Like, we just play whatever." And so then we start to play, and it's at the difficulty selection, and right before the song starts, he bumps the strum bar, and knocks himself down at expert. And we start to play, and I was like, oh man, you bumped down to expert. Do you want to go back and play? He goes, oh, we'll see how it goes. And he starts playing, and he's good. And I'm like, oh, he's trying to hustle me. That's great. Like, we're not even playing for money, and he's trying to psych me out. So we're playing, and I'm just like continuing to not miss a note. And it's not Monkey Wrench, just some other song. And then he starts to struggle a little bit. And at this point, I'm like thousands of points ahead of him. So I just kind of like slide my guitar around my back, and I just start rubbing his shoulders. I was like, man, you feeling all right? And he's like, I hate you, man. Like,
oh no.
And then I pick the guitar back up, and I finish the song, and I'm still like thousands of points ahead of him. So that's like, those are like my two showmanship asshole kind of moments of the game. But I love sharing those stories.
That's great.
So follow-up question. Are there any songs that you hate / just cannot finish or can't perfect or whatever your goal is on them for whatever reason?
So the Guitar Hero, when Guitar Hero 3 came out, I felt like the inputs got a little bit sloppy. And that's still kind of like where, like, even Clone Hero, it kind of follows, they're kind of loose, which in retrospect, it makes you feel like you're doing much better. But if you were to turn on like a precision mode or go play Rock Band, for example, you'll notice that your inputs are not as solid as they probably could be. And so the only song that I've not ever been able to finish on expert is Satch Boogie by Joe Satriani on Rock Band. I've tried and tried and tried, but it's just a thing where the notes are going back and forth, and they'll like skip one. So you'll normally go up and down the full 5 buttons, and all of a sudden they'll skip the one in the middle, and then it'll be the blue button, then it'll be the yellow button. It just throws me off to the point where I just can't get through that solo. And it's like probably close to 30 to 40 seconds of just that going back and forth. And
but so that's randomly skipping.
It's a pattern, so you can kind of pick up on it, but it's just one of those things like your endurance in your fingers kind of starts to go out. And so yeah, that's the one song that I was never able to finish. As far as songs that I hate playing, and this just goes with my taste in music in general, Smashing Pumpkins, anything, it's fucking nails on a chalkboard.
Boring.
Yeah, anytime, like even when I'm in the car, if I could be digging the shit out of the Sirius XM like playlist that's going on, and then the Cherub Rock will come out like, nope, this ruined my whole day. Fuck the radio. Like, I hate Smashing Pumpkins.
Not this ruin this car ride I have to change the channel.
The whole day. It's just the Smashing Pumpkins are garbage. But there's also a song called Yes We Can, I think by the Mexicolas, that was in Guitar Hero 2, and it's just an awful song. And that one sticks out just because in Guitar, I got all the achievements that were available in Guitar Hero 2, and you have to play the song on every single difficulty and all that, and it's just an awful song.
Fair enough.
Have you ever like no, you're not. But have you ever like played like on Rock Band, played the guitar and sang at the same time?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I do that with like Jonathan Colton songs or like Stone Temple Pilots or songs that I know really well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've done that a couple times. It is difficult for sure, but it's fun. Let's if you like some. And there were some times where I would just boot up and just sing in Rock Band. I was just in a mood to sing some nights, and I would do that.
Yeah. Well, I want to play Rock Band with you, Xando. That sounds like so much fun.
I want to play Rock Band with you. That sounds fun. Like, let's just do it.
Yeah.
Bring my ottoman over, man. I'm not shy. I'm ready to play anytime.
I'll bring my ottoman over. It's such a weird sentence. I love it though. All right. So you've talked about the guitar. You've talked about the microphone. Mm-hmm. The very obvious next follow up is,
do I have the bass
DJ
guitar?
Hero?
Yes.
No. What about DJ Hero?
DJ Hero. I do own it. It's been a long time since I played it. I don't think I ever got on expert. I think there were a couple of the beginner songs on expert that I could do, but man, that was a tricky game. And I wanted to play DJ Hero 2. I just never got around to it. But I really enjoyed it. I thought the idea was cool, but it was around the time that Guitar Hero was just putting out so many titles. Like I think in the worst of it, like 2012 or something like that, or maybe it was 11. Guitar Hero seriously released something like 9 games in 1 year, and most of it was DLC packs. It was kind of that last bastion of like, oh, we can put this out as downloadable content, or we can also make some physical discs and make money that way, which I sort of loved, because then they would put those games in Family Video or the local video store, and the code to download all those songs for free was on the back of the instruction manual. So you just go into those stores day one, grab the instruction manuals, take a picture of the code, go home and download all the songs. So that was pretty awesome. But yeah, so that series died out kind of quick, but I thought it was fun. It's one of those games that I keep saying I'm going to go down and put the batteries in the turntable and try to play again, but I just haven't done it.
Yeah. It was a good time though.
I thought you were going to ask me about drums.
No, I was going to throw you. You were anticipating.
You got me good.
No, I've seen you play the drums. You're competent.
Competent is the correct answer. Yeah. A lot of songs I can't do, but some I can.
You on the drums are like most people on Guitar Hero though, so it's like even footing at that point.
Balances out.
Yeah. Mel, you got any other questions for Xando about Guitar Hero?
No, I just want to play video games with Xando now.
Anytime.
Nice. Well, then in that case, Mel, why don't you share with us what you're an expert in?
So I think that I'm an expert in Stardew Valley because I have been playing it a lot. I have probably over 1,000 hours of Stardew Valley gameplay time in like 3 different consoles. I have it for PC, Nintendo Switch, and for the Xbox. I have like 4 or 5 different really big farms. And like a handful of like smaller playthroughs, incorporating that. And I did a lot of like co-op experiences with some friends. So I think that I'm an expert in it just because I love this game so much. Ask me about my favorite fruit, please.
Okay, what's your favorite fruit?
Strawberries.
Are we talking IRL or in the game?
Both.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, because like it's a little bit more difficult to get strawberries like inside of Stardew Valley because you have to like purchase some of the seeds like at a fair. And then on top of that, like it only grows in like spring, and it regrows. So like you plant it once and then it will like spawn after a few more days. And they're just so cute to look at when they're like on your farm. They're just super, super adorable.
Nice.
Like making jam out of it. Wine, strawberry wine's always great.
Obviously, we spent an entire episode talking about cozy games, so I'm a little familiar with Stardew as well. But I think there are some things that are good to ask you that I didn't ask then.
Okay.
And so I need to know, and I think most folks would love to know: have you ever gone the Joja route?
I have once, yes. And it's very, very sad because it turns your whole entire community center into like a Joja warehouse. And like you don't get the ability to have the Juwanimos like come to your farm and like collect stuff for you. And it's just upsetting. It's just very upsetting to just see everything branded with like Joja Mart.
Was there a benefit to it? Because I've never done the Joja run.
So instead of you trying to find all of like the different items to put into your community center, you essentially just buy it off. So you just make as much money as possible, and you just unlock like the mine carts and you unlock all of this other stuff. There's no real good like reason why you want to have it unless you want to keep Joja Mart. And on top of that too, if you don't necessarily if you go the Joja Mart, then obviously the Joja Mart stays in place and you don't get the theater, which is really cool. Because then you can't like, the theater is awesome because you can take one of your villagers and go and like watch a movie with them. And they could like it or dislike it. And you can also like buy them candy, which is really cute. But yeah, there's no purpose. The Joja Mart route sucks.
What happens to Pierre?
He's still in business.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But it's not, I think, it's just not as, I think that he doesn't open like all the time though. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Dale, you got some questions. I can see it.
I do. I've never played Stardew Valley.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know what it is. Like most of these like farming type games, I just can't really get into. Well, we've talked about it on the pod in the past, but I understand that in Stardew Valley, there are a wide variety of people that you can court and like get married to and that sort of thing. Do you have one who's your favorite that you marry every time, or do you like play the field? Like, what's your thoughts on this?
So, I've never actually gotten married in Stardew Valley because because I'm an independent woman and I need no man or kids. So I never really get married in the game. But like I have seen people's playthroughs of like having kids and stuff like that, and I was like, that's still like too much work. And on top of that, you have to like nurture your relationships. However, like I've had a playthrough where I focused on like dating, one like character, and that's always Sam, because he reminds me mostly of like my husband. Like he's just, I don't know, same looks. Like he's in Sam's in a band and he plays the guitar, which is really cool. He like skateboards and does kick flips and shit and plays video games. So I'm like, yes, Sam is kind of like my go-to romantic interest. So I've never gotten married to him, but he's always, I lied. I've only gotten married once in the game, and that's in my co-op playthrough with Josh, and I got married to Josh.
That's adorable. Sam, I just Googled him. He has real anime hair.
He does. It's very like floofy and spiky.
All right.
So yeah, I don't know if you listened to our the Cozy Game episode or not, but I need you to also look up Harvey and tell me who that is. Harvey is the person that Sarah married when she played the game. Just tell me who Harvey looks like.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. So for those of you who aren't aware of this, Xander's wife has a brother, and he looks like Harvey.
Like to a T, like the green jacket, the mustache, like the hairstyle, the glasses.
That's so funny.
Like all of it.
Yes.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
That's a lot about her.
Oh, I just saw a Harvey like fan drawing of him with his shirt open with a hairy chest, wearing suspenders.
Which is clearly John now.
Yes. Oh, geez. Okay, well.
Too funny.
Well, we learned a lot about your wife right there.
I hate to repeat content from a previous episode, but I had to. Mel's never met my brother-in-law. You know him very well. I just had to get that raw reaction.
Dale's just shaking his head.
Like exactly. Like it's uncanny. I don't like this anymore. I do not like this. All right. So I also understand that in this game, there are a myriad of different holidays that aren't necessarily like analogs to like Earth holidays, like they do the same thing in Animal Crossing where like, oh, there's Easter, but it's like, it's Egg Fest or whatever.
Right.
Funny day.
Yeah, exactly. Does Stardew, are the holidays the analogs to Earth holidays? And if not, which is your favorite Stardew holiday?
They are. They have like a holiday, like season. Obviously, like every season has like its own holiday. So they have one that's like Easter, but it's like an egg hunt, right? They have like a Halloween one. In the winter, they have a like a holiday one where like there's a big spirit tree and you have to like give a gift to somebody. I think my favorite is the autumn harvest festival that they have, because you get to present your goods, which is and get to show it off.
Sorry, what does that mean?
Oh, you get to show off like all of the farm like goods that you have produced like on your farm. Like,
oh, so like a county fair kind of thing,
yeah.
not like an exotic dance. Okay.
I mean, yes, you're right. It's whatever you have grown on your farm, you get to showcase it into a display, and then you win points. And there's like cool mini games that you can play during that fair too. My favorite is the raffle.
So like during the season, can you focus on like making the biggest zucchini or whatever?
So they don't do like biggest one, but they do quality zucchinis. So then you're trying the nicest zucchini. Yes, the high quality zucchini or eggplants. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
So you could show off the goods if you wanted to.
Yeah, I guess so. Can you grow peaches in this game? Are all of the emoji analogs there?
Unfortunately, no. I wish, though.
Excellent.
That'd be great.
Absolutely excellent. Zando, I know you guys already talked about Stardew Valley for like a long time. Do you have any other questions?
Not without ruining its potential for an entire second Cozy Game episode. So I'm gonna just.
Oh wow!
I'm just gonna hold it.
We should definitely have another Cozy Game episode. Not to only talk about Stardew, but like other Cozy games.
Well, there'll be the new patch for Stardew, and we'll have to just break that down, right? Like,
yes. I'm so ready for that. That's going to be happening soon. Like 1.6 is going to be like amazing. There's so many, like there's new festivals, new dialogue. There's like a new area. I think the sickle finally has an upgraded version of it, which people have been waiting for. So yeah, I'm ready.
Fair enough.
That's awesome.
All right. Dale, you're the only one who hasn't gone yet, unless you've got more Stardew questions.
No, I don't. I don't know anything else about Stardew. So I don't have questions to ask. I'm sorry. But I am excited for the second Cozy episode. All right. So my topic that I'm considering myself an expert in is a little card game / digital card game / other digital card game / I think 3 other digital card games called Magic the Gathering. And I would consider myself an expert in Magic the Gathering for a wide variety of reasons. First off, I have a physical card collection of somewhere in the neighborhood of 10,000 cards and worth more than that in dollars. I also used to play semi-professionally where I would like travel sometimes from multiple states away to play in tournaments. I never won any of the tournaments, but I did occasionally win product and money and that sort of thing. The best that I ever did in a tournament was making day 2 in a Grand Prix in Indianapolis, which basically like I got the equivalent of what I paid to go and do everything back in product, which was kind of cool. And I still play casually to this day in a format called Commander, but also many of my nibblings are now into Magic, and so I'm playing with them, and that's fun. And so I've kept up with like what decks are popular and what the scene is like and that sort of thing. Even though I no longer play it semi-professionally because it takes so much money and time, and I have less of both of those than I did when I was, covered in disposable income and energy. So, yeah.
Mel, how much do you know about Magic the Gathering?
I know that the Black Lotus card is a very rare and expensive card.
That is true.
Probably the second highest from the One Ring, and that's about it.
Fair enough.
That's all I got. So Dale, or no,
yeah, I went to a gaming convention last year, and they had a like how to play Magic class, and you got to build a deck. So I learned how to play that finally there, and all of my Magic cards can fit in my hand. And they're probably not worth, and they're probably not even worth $20, but who knows?
That's fine.
Yeah,
it's not about whether or not they're worth anything. There are a ton of people who are collectors, but it's about the game, right? Mm-hmm. And if you enjoy the game, it doesn't matter if you're enjoying it around a kitchen table or around a tournament table. Like it is, and I know that this is insane. I think it's the second best game ever made.
Whoa! First being
Monopoly.
Oh God, I hate Monopoly so fucking much.
I'm about to flip my desk.
Oh, I hate Monopoly. No,
Dungeons to see the reaction. I'm sorry.
Dungeons and Dragons, I think, is the first best game, right? Because it's a game where you can buy a rule book and play it forever and never repeat the same game and all of that, right? And Magic is very, very close to that. Although it's interesting because in Magic, part of it is like consistency and trying to get your deck to do the same thing over and over again and mitigating the randomness. So there's two sides of that same coin. But yeah, I really think like it's a mix between chess and poker, but you don't have to like chess or poker to enjoy the game. I just love it.
So one question that comes to my mind is because I learned Commander, how different, like when did Commander start and how different is that from like what it started out as?
So the Commander is the new term for an old casual format called Elder Dragon Highlander. And back in Legends, there were these series of 5 cards called Elder Dragons, and they were all huge dragons that all cost 3 different colors of mana, and they had big effects, big stat lines, and all of that. And so back in the day, what you would do is you would pick one of these 5 Elder Dragons, and you would say, all right, this is my Elder Dragon. And then you would build a 100-card deck that only contains one of each card, right? So in normal Magic, you can have up to 4 of any given card. In this format, you can only play 1 of any given card. And it had all of the cards in the deck had to match the colors of your Elder Dragon, right? So it's like an interesting deck restriction in that you're playing this like weird format. It was also designed to be multiplayer. Whereas the normal game is designed to be 1-on-1. And so to compensate for that, everybody starts the game at 40 life. However, if you get dealt 21 points of damage by your opponent's Elder Dragon, that's enough to kill you, because in the game of Magic you have 20 points of health, right? And so there was like this like cool alternate win condition that was in there. And eventually Elder Dragon Highlander, EDH for short, got so popular that Wizards of the Coast, the makers of Magic, were like, this is no longer a casual format. This is an official format. It's now called Commander. You can have any legendary creature be your commander. The color rules still apply, so if you pick a creature who's only red and green, your deck has to be all red and green. And then they were like, oh, and also some planeswalkers could be your commander. And then later on, they were like, oh, some creatures are like friends with one another. They're partners. So you can have both of these guys be your commander, and like that sort of thing. But it is without question the most popular casual format in Magic, and maybe the most popular format, depending on when it is and who you talk to and that sort of thing. But it's a blast. And a big chunk of that blast is because it's not as competitive as like tournament Magic, right? Instead of 60 finely tuned cards, you've got a pile of 100 cards you like, right? Mm-hmm. I'm out of my house right now. I couldn't bring a lot of stuff with me, but I did bring one Commander deck with me. So that way, if my nibblings want to play, if I've got a bunch of friends who still play Magic, I've got one Commander deck with me that I can play with.
Mm-hmm.
So,
do you still buy cards, or are you do you occasionally just like, oh, let me get a booster to see what's going on?
No, I never really buy boosters unless it's like a gift for someone. Buying a booster in Magic is the equivalent of buying a scratch-off ticket for someone.
Interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
They're basically just physical loot boxes. And we all know how I feel about loot boxes. The thing is, I can't really think of a way that they could distribute Magic and keep it collectible and not have it be based on the booster pack system. And so I give it a pass. But anytime that you can, I recommend buying individual singles if you know you need a card. However, there are a bunch of formats where in order to play, you just buy 3 boosters and sit down and you draft, and then whatever you get, that's what you build your deck out of. And everybody in the tournament is doing that. And so the only times that I really buy boosters anymore are when I go to I like going to pre-releases. They're the most casual events. My nibblings will sometimes go with me. I've gone to the last 2 with my nephew James, and they give you 6 packs and you open them up, and whatever you get, you build a deck out of that. And that's a lot of fun for somebody with as much experience as I have, with as deep of a card collection as I have, because it's I don't have to worry about oh man, is my deck going to be super overpowered and I'm going to beat the shit out of everybody here because I've been playing for so long, instead of because of skill. Right. It's card evaluation in the moment. A lot of people say it's the most pure way to play Magic. they call those formats limited, where it's like your card selection is limited to whatever you opened in the moment. And I really enjoy playing sealed, which is the one where it's just like you get 6 packs, whatever you get, deal with it, you know? So yeah, that's really the only time I buy packs. And if you do buy packs or you get packs, I highly recommend that you play with them rather than just open them, because it is such a fun experience to like actually sit down and play with these. And there's a bunch of different variants online for where you can do that with just 2 people. 2 people in 6 packs, you can have a whole awesome afternoon of playing Magic.
It's crazy. Okay, so out of all the cards you have, how many cards do you own in your collection?
Around 10K.
10K. Which is your rarest card? But what is your favorite? And what is your favorite card?
I'll answer favorite card first. My favorite card is a card called Mind's Desire.
Okay.
Mind's Desire is a card that costs 6 mana, and it says, shuffle your deck, flip over the top card, and whatever it is, you get to play it for free.
Nice.
And then below it, it has a little line of text that says Storm, which means that you copy it for every other spell that you've played this turn. And so I used to play a combo deck whose goal was basically play a bunch of cards that just let you draw cards and make extra mana. And then like play as many spells as you can in one turn, and then play this spell and it wins you the game. Right. And it's funny because it's like whatever your opponent is doing, you just go until they're going to kill you the next turn. And then that's your turn. You got to go off. Right.
Wow.
There's 1-turn kills in Hearthstone, that sort of thing. And that's a similar vibe to it. My rarest card.
Before you move on.
Oh, yeah.
What's the artwork on that?
Oh, God. It's like a series of heads, I think. It's 6 mana. It's 4 and 2 blue.
Yeah, it looks like a serpent lady in the middle with other heads around it. Or at least the version I'm looking at.
Yeah, it's pretty wild looking. The version that I'm familiar with is the one from Scourge. Because it's been reprinted a couple times, and yeah, it's hard to describe. A serpent lady, a bunch of heads. There's like a weird mermaid or merfolk squirrel down below. There's like lightning and maybe a jellyfish in the background. I don't know, man.
That's a lot.
The art's wild.
Yeah.
And that's one of the other cool things about Magic. But the rarest card / most expensive card that I own is I own a revised Underground Sea, which I think is the rarest card that I currently own. And I don't even remember how much it's worth. Let me do a quick Google. $476.
Nice.
So, and actually this one's heavily played and mine's slightly better. So mine's played, but not heavily played. So yeah, probably somewhere in the neighborhood of $500-600.
Dang. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Will you ever sell them?
Well, eventually my goal is to open up a hobby shop. And so the reason I've held on to them for this long is I can justify it by saying that they're future inventory. Nice. So yes, my goal, if I ever sell my cards, you'll know that I'm incredibly happy because it means that I've completed my goal of opening a shop. Nice.
Well, I hope you sell your cards soon.
Thanks, man. That sounded real weird and ominous, but I know you meant it in a nice way. All right. Awesome. So any other questions about Magic before I move on?
I have tons of questions, but there's not enough time for this podcast.
I will answer a million of them. Maybe I'll find some guests and we'll do an episode on Magic the Gathering, because we haven't talked about the ways you can play digitally and all of the different scams that are involved in that, and all of this. There's you could go super deep into Magic.
I'm in. Let's do it.
Yeah, cool.
Did you see the Street Fighter cards, and are they awesome?
I saw the Street Fighter cards. They are kind of awesome. I have a mixed reputation, or I have a mixed opinion of those cards, because they are cards that were only available via mail order. So you can't open them in a pack or anything, and they're mechanically unique. And that creates a problem for some of the Eternal formats like Legacy and Vintage, where it's if one of these cards is accidentally good, it could be worth literally thousands of dollars at that point. Mm. And that creates a problem for me because I want everybody to be able to play the game. Right. You know, the only reason my copy of Underground Sea is worth as much as it is because they have this dumb thing called the reserve list where they promise to not print any of these cards on this list. And it's that sucks so bad because it makes it so hard for people to play the game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Cool. So I think we're going to move on to our next question. And this one happens to be sponsored. It's sponsored by the Human Element of Deception. And the quote here that they want me to read says, if you're an AI looking to take over the world, look no further than Deception. It'll serve you well. Now also available in a bundle with Groucho Marx disguise glasses. I somehow don't think that ad was for us, but I do love the idea of an evil computer wearing Groucho glasses. So that's pretty good. Thanks to Ange for that idea. Hey, we're going to flip the script. What's a topic that you know nothing about? We'll ask you questions about it.
Perfect. I'll go first again, just because I went first to start. So I know absolutely nothing, obviously, about Skyrim. So ask me any questions you have about it, and I will answer them with expertise and great knowledge.
Perfect. Who's your favorite love interest?
Dante. I like Dante a lot. I like the way he trains the tigers. I don't like the newer ones, but the original trained tigers, I think, are the strongest, and that makes him the most attractive to me.
Nice. In Skyrim, there's tons of deities, different gods that are out there that people worship. Which god are you worshiping?
Kali. She bites the heads off of children, and I think that's admirable in a deity. This causes disease to spread, which, as long as you're cool with Kali, you're going to be all right. So that's the way I roll.
Perfect.
Nice.
There are a bunch of different dragon powers in Skyrim. Which one is your favorite?
The ones that allow you to grow multiple wings is great. Yep. And the more wings you have, the slower you fly, which is a weird choice, but I think it's a one that makes you think, and that's what I really appreciate about it.
Yeah. Now the fans are divided between if 4 wings or 12 wings is the best. Which one do you prefer?
I right in the middle, 8.
Okay. Yeah.
You're not too fast, not too slow. It keeps you warm in the wintertime.
Perfect. I love it. What's your favorite magical item?
The Ring of Leaping. I really appreciate being able to, when you don't have those wings yet, the ability to leap just by wearing a ring is super helpful for climbing those mountains.
You don't even know how close you really are. Which is kind of amazing. All right, I have one last question. Did you choose to get infected with lycanthropy? And if so, which animal did you turn into?
With a lot of things, I didn't choose to get infected with lycanthropy. Lycanthropy chose me, which was convenient because, at a certain point, just being human or just your regular base class isn't good enough. So you need to be able to shift. And I found my ability to turn into an amphibian was extremely helpful. Breathing underwater, having a neck that could just bloat out, and making those calls is really helpful.
Those calls are so good. Mel, do you have any other questions around Skyrim?
No, I think answered all of my questions. That's fantastic.
Absolutely perfect.
I'll go next. I know a lot about Fortnite. Ask me questions about Fortnite.
You sounded so convincing there. What's your favorite skin to use?
My favorite skin to use is the Santa Claus skin because I get to throw out presents as grenades to people.
Mel, I know that this is absolutely insane, but you are going to need to be way more specific than just Santa Claus skin. Do you have any idea? There are so many Santa Claus skins in Fortnite. I need you to get more specific.
Okay, so it's the Santa Claus skin that has no beard and he's extremely skinny. And instead of his outfit being red, it's like this neon green color. So it kind of makes him look like an elf, but he's not really an elf because he's Santa.
Yes, Santa in disguise as elf skin. Yes,
exactly.
I remember that one.
And then sometimes he instead of throwing presents, he chucks coal at people. Yeah. That's when you know it's Santa.
Yeah.
I didn't play a whole lot of Fortnite, but I do recall there was some strategy around where you drop in. So where do you think, as someone who's new to the game, is the best place for them to drop in?
My favorite area to drop in is the Enchanted Forest because there's a lot of trees where there's good hiding places. You get all these extra materials. But there's also a really special cave in the Enchanted Forest where it gives you a super cool power-up that allows you to kick people across the map. It's called like the Boots of Smiting. And as you are kicking them, a lightning bolt drops from the sky as they're shooting across the map. It's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful.
Very cool. Now, as I'm sure you're aware, this last season of Fortnite, not the one that's currently going on, but the one before that, featured both the Transformers and Attack on Titan. So it allowed you to, be Optimus Prime and use the Attack on Titan tactical gear to like get around. And that's something that's probably unique only to Fortnite. So based on that, what's your favorite past combinations of two different franchises that they put in the game?
Ooh, that's a really, really good one. I like the Trolls mashed up with the Care Bears because of just all the crazy superpowers and the awesome hair that all your characters have. Like they all had like troll like hair and like amazing bellies that showed like your different powers that you could consume.
Yeah, it was really wild the first time I logged in and saw the menu option that said amazing bellies.
Amazing belly. My favorite power up from that one is the Star Stunner, where it just shoots out a whole bunch of stars from your belly and it stuns people from actually doing any moves. 10 out of 10.
What's amazing is you don't know how close that really is.
Really? Oh no.
Oh man, Xander, you got any other questions about Fortnite?
Yeah, I know that from my time of working in retail that kids love V-Bucks and getting their parents to spend money on that for their fork knives. And so, what is the best way to spend your V-Bucks?
Oh, totally on getting the cool skins, right? Because everybody loves a cool, fantastic skin. And you can get one of like creepy goblins, or you can get one of a giant puppy dog like Paw Patrol. Or you could get, like a very super cool like weapon, right? Like, and my favorite one is called the Giggle Gun, and you shoot giggles at people and it knocks them prone and it prevents them from using any of their power-ups because they're just laughing hysterically.
Nice. I didn't know that the Paw Patrol was in Fork Knife, so this is great news as my daughter is obsessed. So what is the rarest of the Paw Patrol skins and which one should I buy first?
Man, that's a really good one. The Crystal Puppy Paw Patrol, that looks like a doctor, like a doctor paramedic, is very, very awesome. I think that she would like that the most. It is extremely glittery, and as you run, it has like a trail of sparkles. It's great.
God, you do not know how close you are. Oh man!
Not on the Paw Patrol, but
yeah, I was going to make a real dumb joke about the V-Bucks being named for V for Vendetta, but I'm gonna skip it. I do want to ask though. Fortnite is known for all of its crazy dances as well. What is your favorite dance in game?
Ooh, that's a really, really good one. My favorite dance is based off of the Arrested Development chicken dance, where they go caw 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 caw.
Have you ever even seen a chicken? But I am going to tell you that you're dead on. That's actually in the game.
Really? That's one of them?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
I apparently know more Fortnite than I originally thought.
That one is really in the game. And I believe, I think they do Busters, whoever does the one where they put the comb up and the tail. And I believe it's called Chachi Chaw is the name of the dance. So
Chachi Chaw is Portia de Rossi's character.
Yeah.
Who I'm drawing a blank on her name in the show.
Yeah, I know who.
Yeah, we all know who you're talking about. All I can imagine is her wearing the sled shirt. Yes, Lindsay. Thank you,
Lindsay. Yeah,
hot ham water. Great. Any other questions about Fortnite?
No, I think I've got everything I need.
All right, perfect. Then I'll go next. I am an expert on Resident Evil. Please ask me all of your Resident Evil questions.
Oh, man. Which version of the Tyrant is your favorite?
I know a lot of people think that, like, oh, it's so played out, but I love Pirate Tyrant. It's just great because he's like, Avast ye hearties when he kicks down doors like the Kool-Aid Man. It's awesome. He's got that cannonball arm.
Right.
Sweet.
What is your favorite zombie in Resident Evil? Because there's tons of different ones. Which one's your favorite?
I mean, okay, this is a joke answer, but it's when they play the Cranberry Zombie at the end of Resident Evil 3 in the credits. But if I'm being serious, it's got to be when President Jake Hagar is revealed to be a zombie. And honestly, like, yes, they're both Capcom games, but nobody expected Jake Hagar, and then nobody expected him to be a zombie. So pretty wild. Also, why is like the plot hole of like, why is the president also like the leader of Umbrella Corp or whatever? Like all of that, pretty wild.
Did you think it was a misstep for them to go to Tricell instead of Umbrella? And how do you feel about the state of that now?
Oh, no. Tricell. I love Tricell. It's my favorite battery type in the game. It's a way better blocking mechanism than the umbrellas that you used to have. You can get the zombies away from you with the stun gun that the Tricell enables way easier. No, it's perfect.
Which iteration of Hunk was your favorite?
Oh, shit. I'd say Hollywood Hunk. It was right around the time when like Hollywood Rock and Hollywood Hogan were out in wrestling, and so it was just cool to see him in like the black bandana, the black wraparound shades, the black tank top. Like that's just probably the best Hunk. Number one Hunk, in my opinion.
Number one Hunk, the hunkiest of the hunk, right?
Yeah, Hollywood Hunk.
So Resident Evil had a whole bunch of different remakes. Out of all of them, which one's your favorite? And what scene is your favorite from that one?
I am a big fan of the Google Cardboard remake of Resident Evil 2. Where they it was like VR kind of, but because it was played on a phone, it was still like blocky graphics and whatnot. And I thought it was just cool how like all of the traps in the town that you're in, they were able to make it work in like a VR setting. So when you were like getting crushed by the car crusher, like, oh, cool. Like, and if you look behind you, it's like, oh, it slows you down, but you got to know where you're going, like that sort of thing. I thought that was cool.
Fair enough. I've got two more questions. They're unrelated, but I just wanted to announce that I had two. First up, the original Resident Evil for PlayStation infamously had terrible voice acting that everybody loved. So what do you think is your favorite line from the first game?
It's a classic, but I love the part where the guy in the trench coat gets eaten by the zombie and he goes, "Oh no, my brains."
Yes.
Like it's just such a classic,
Just the delivery really sold it.
Yes.
And then the other question I had for you is completely forgotten. I lost it because the
guy in the trench coat's name I think was Liam, if I remember correctly. Oh, I definitely remember correctly because I am an expert on this.
I love that I had two questions and completely blanked on the second one. So sorry about that.
I'm sorry that my answer was so good that it blew you away.
I mean, really, I don't know what else there is to ask.
Yeah, I'm all out of Resident Evil questions.
Oh, no. I wanted to talk about Resident Evil for so long.
What was your favorite bonus weapon to unlock after you go through the game and you have to go through the different times? What is your favorite bonus weapon?
Oh man, that's a really good question. I'm gonna go with Rolando's nightstick.
Okay.
I thought, it was just really cool how he could spin it around like it was nunchucks, but there's no chain, and you could just spin it in front of you like it's a shield and run at zombies. That's something that they kind of brought back in Dead or Alive. And I thought it was, I mean, obviously it was overpowered in Resident Evil, but it was cool. Helped with speed running.
Good times. I don't think any of your answers were remotely close.
No. Oh god. But I did get to reference 2 different Final Fight characters. So
yes, you did.
I'll take it. Oh man.
And I like that they were just slightly off too, the names.
Oh man.
That was great.
Oh shit, you're right. I said Jake Hagar. He's a wrestler.
It's Mike Hagar and Rolento.
No, Rolando.
No, you were right. I'm not going to argue with the expert.
Yeah, it's Rolando.
When you said that, I was like, does he mean Rolento?
No, man, Rolando.
I'm so glad to know I was wrong.
Oh, Jesus. If you are listening to this and you have questions for us about Resident Evil or Fortnite or Skyrim, please put them in the Discord. We will be happy to answer any of those from any of you. And also, if you are legitimately an expert in any topic and you're like, hey, I really want a chance to talk about X video game, that sort of thing, let us know. We'd be potentially happy to have you on as a guest.
Yeah,
sure.
I love hearing people talk about the things that make them happy, that make them passionate. And we would love to have you. And if you liked this episode format, let us know. We've got other ideas in the hopper. But if you like this one, let us know. Maybe we'll do more of them. So
hey, I've got one. I know we're we're almost an hour and 15 minutes here, but I do have one other topic that I feel like I'm really, really smart about, and that is the topic of Dan. Do you have any questions?
Tell me how you feel about Dan.
Fuck you, Dan.
Yeah, for real, for real. All right, tell the people where you can be found.
I can be found in the Discord as Zando Calrissian and pretty much anywhere else as Zando Calrissian.
I am Melephant. You can find me on Discord, Blue Sky, and pretty much everywhere else is Melephant.
I am a 20-sided ninja on Discord and on Blue Sky and everywhere else. Please friend me. I need friends. I don't have enough people to play video games with somehow. Yeah, awesome. Thank you immensely to all of our Patreons. You all rule. And thank you all for listening and for telling your friends and family about this. It's
good
great
news for our Patreon supporters. All of your funds are going towards our Clark Lewis juggling and rock band party. So
yes,
you're invited.
Be there.
Yeah,
be there. Be square.
You're all invited. We will not have a hot dog food truck. All of our money is going to Clark Lewis, regardless of how much he charges. Oh man, absolutely amazing. All right, anything else that we need to say about all of the topics that we are experts on?
I don't think so. If you're listening, Bill, thanks for listening.
Yeah, there are so many Santa Claus skins. All right, say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.